Hello everybody, welcome back. Today's the day we are going to pull the egg sac from our Poecilotheria regalis, and as you can see, she's in there. This is one of the few females that we actually managed to see the egg sac and everything else. It's all pretty cool. You see she's got it all there. Yeah, from that side you can see.
Too webby. Oh, come. Yes, too webby. We can see good here. Yeah.
So then, it's time. Now you might have remembered last time we bred this girl, we actually let the egg sac hatch within the enclosure. And this time I decided I'm going to pull it because I'd like to move her over. We've made a new enclosure for her. Normally we run through and do these as we go, but because we're going to pull the egg sac, I thought we'd save a bit of time. So we've set this one up as our normal bioactive. You can see we've got our clay balls in the bottom here, soil, mixed soil, some of our beastie substrate mixed in with potting compost, and we've got a nice simple enclosure. Bit of plant life, moss covering, and this is gonna be her new home. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take, you can see on the side here we've got our dates. As you'll remember before, we keep all of our relevant information on the enclosure that the spider lives in, so we know what we got in here, the regalis. She last molted out on the 27th of the 4th, 20, which was, wow, some time ago. She was mated on the 24th of the 5th, roughly a month later, and her egg sac was produced on the 3rd of the 1st. So this was a really long gestation. You've got to ignore these plants. These were just put in here as a nursery tank, really, because I had nowhere else to put them. So they're going into a future project. Right then, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our bits and pieces out of here. Now, some of you guys might have remembered when we set this tank up, and it looked absolutely lovely when we done it. And this moss is actually still alive, but looking a little bit shabby. It's looking a bit rough, but it's still going, which is interesting because we didn't have any light on this particular tank. I think what we're going to do is we are going to get our step. Right. Now I don't suppose she's going to be entirely happy with this idea. So what we're going to do, we're going to open this up. You can see they built a really good thing. You can see how she's camouflaged it with all these leaves and everything else all through here. There's all webbing under here. Very clever. Beautiful thing. So I think what we're going to do, we are just going to pull back the bark, which is one of the benefits of this type of hide, is it does allow us, here she comes. We've got to really watch our fingers now because these guys are very fast, and potentially she will try and look after that egg sac. So what we're doing is we are literally just going to pull this down like so. Come in there. Now we are going to try and retrieve this without too much stress for her. Also watch my fingers. Come on, please let me have it. There we go. Now then, what we're going to do now is we are going to box her up. As you can see, she's still in very good condition. There we go. Remember, nice and gently. What we're going to do is we're going to walk her up to the lid, because she's obviously on a bit of a curved piece of wood there. So we're going to walk her up the flat lid. There we go, nice and gently does it. And there we have her, she's in. I'll plonk her down there for the time being. Let me get rid of this. Right, what we're going to do now, as you can see there, she has still managed to maintain superb condition. And remember, we're opening this up, we're keeping the back of the tub flat against the lid so she can't come backwards towards us. And we can bring this down like so. And now we can use the front of the box to get her to walk out. And there she is. You'd never have guessed that we've just stolen her egg sac, would you? Very beautiful spider. I think she might come up the back. Right, I'm going to close that for the moment. Here she comes. What we can do is get her to walk out. She's going to come out the top. There we go. There we go. Absolutely beautiful. She says, I'm a little shy at the moment. Right then, enough of all that messing about. What we're going to do now is we are going to have a look and see what we've got. Hopefully, it feels really good. You can see here, this is so fine. And what I'm going to do, it actually feels nice. So it feels sort of like there's a little bit of movement maybe in there. What we're doing now is we're just breaking the outer sheaths of the sac. Oh, here we go, we're in. Oh, look at those. Oh my god, the size of them. Get this right opened up and you can have a proper look. Look at that. And then we have eggs with legs. Now this is really quite interesting because this sac, I actually managed to see this sac being produced. I literally just caught her wrapping the last pieces up before they hold on to it. So I know exactly what day this was laid. Now, this has been around 5 weeks, 42 days. Now, a lot of the literature will tell you to pull your sacs at 35 days or so. This obviously shows, and it's something I've seen with other sacs as well, that I think 30 to 35 days is quite often too early. I personally would have rather these have been a week older maybe. You know, I prefer them in the next stage. But this isn't a disaster. This is absolutely ideal. So what we've got our nursery pot here, which could do with a little bit of warm water. If you have a little look at those, I'm going to quickly go and get some warmer water. Oh, here we go. So what we got now is this is how we deal with eggs with legs. So what we've got is a standard size deli cup, and we get a second deli cup and we literally cut the top off. So we've cut this off here, yeah. So that now fits inside that one like so. So what we do is we turn it upside down, and then we steal a pair of the wife's tights, put that over there like that. Yeah, so that's covered like so. Yeah, and then what we do is we pop that in there like that, pull this down like that, and what we've done there now is we have created, as you can see there, this lovely mesh base with the water underneath. The humidity will rise from the water as it evaporates, and we'll keep these eggs with legs in the perfect environment. So what we do now is we are going to take these out of here, because there's no need for them to stay within this now, because we are going to swap the egg sac with our own environment. So we're going to tip them out nice and gently. Well, see how clean that is inside there? Absolutely dry. But there will be humidity coming through. So that is everybody in there now. That is perfect, you see? What I do is we literally just spread them around a little bit like so. They'll be fine. They'll move around and do their own thing. And also, while we're doing this, we can just check to see if there's no bad ones in there. And luckily, we have no bad ones. Everybody looks healthy. They're all absolutely marvellous. Stunning. So then, once we've got them in here, we now put our lid on. Now you'll see there's no ventilation holes in this lid. I keep this lid as a solid lid. And by doing this, as this rises, the humidity rises within here, keeping the humidity in this top part just where we want it. It needs to be up around about the 100% mark. This will keep these guys in perfect health. And we won't lose any water. It won't disappear. So it will just keep recycling within the pot itself. And I find this system works really well. Absolutely ideal. And what we can do now is, I don't put these into an incubator. I know most people do, but excuse me, I'm lucky enough in this room, I can maintain this room at around about 80 degrees, and that stays there. And how I change my different temperatures within my room is on the shelves, which we will see now. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our eggs with legs. And you'll see here, I have temperature gauges all around the room. And this one here, this is a bottom shelf, although it's in the middle of the room really, is 81.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah? So then if we come over here, and we go to the top shelf, we can see we've now jumped to 86.4. Now bearing in mind, within this closed environment, within this room, we have a closed environment, we have gone, what, 86? We have jumped exactly 5 degrees higher from here to here, which is a 2-foot difference in height within the room. That's changed 5 degrees, which is quite a lot. You know, that's a huge amount. So when you see people, when they turn around, they're telling you that, you know, you can adjust your spider's temperatures through the room, this is how we do it. And that shows the difference that we can get. If we go to floor level, I will be under 80 degrees. I will probably be sitting around about 76, 77. So, which is ideal for some of your other spiders. So what we're going to do, we're going to push that one back there, and we're going to put our eggs with legs up here. And that is where they are going to stay until we get them molt out into slings. And then once we get to slings, they will then be moved over and they'll be put into either separate pots, or quite often with these, I keep them as a communal. I keep the whole lot together and I just keep them on soil, and then we disperse them as and when. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to keep her up there, 86.5 degrees. That will stay there permanently. Right, I hope that's made a little bit of sense. And always amazes me, these egg sacs. Well, that's a lovely success, really. I'm really pleased with that. Once again, she's done the job, and what we will do now is we'll give her a rest. We'll get her nice and fed up. She'll go back to normal now. You'll see quite often people say about your females being stressed when they lose an egg sac. I don't actually think this is the case. I think once you've taken it away from her, she will sit, she's in a new environment, she's been disturbed, she will fall back into, I just need to feed now. And that is what's going to be going on. Because if you imagine, when she laid that sack, which was back, that was on the 1st. So if we say the 1st of January, 3rd of the 1st, and she was mated back on the 24th of the 5th. So how long's that? Oh, let me think. It's nearly 7 months. Yeah, is that my maths right? Yeah, camera lady shaking her head. Nearly 7 months. So that's been a long gestation, and in the whole of that time, this spider has not fed. But as you saw there, if you get your conditioning correct before you go into breeding, she had a nice big plump abdomen when she went into breeding, and that has sustained her for that 7 months of fasting. So she's not eaten a thing in all of that time, nothing. So very, very important. Get your spiders in tip-top shape before you start your breeding projects. Well, I hope that was informative, and it's cracking news. I'm really pleased with that. And yes, I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spiders. I'll see you soon, guys.